You know that person who lost a ton of weight a year or two ago? The one who posted the before and after photos, looked incredible, was suddenly the inspiration for everyone they knew? Now think about where they are today. Most of them, statistically, are right back where they started. Some weigh even more than before they began. And they're avoiding cameras, avoiding old friends, avoiding the version of themselves they used to be so proud of. Yeah, that pattern isn't a lack of discipline. It isn't laziness. It isn't failure of willpower. It's actually one of the most studied biological and psychological phenomena in modern weight loss science. According to research, more than 80% of people who lose significant weight regain most or all of it within 2 to 5 years. And the worst part is that this isn't because they stopped caring. It's because their body, their brain, and their identity were quietly working against them the entire time. In a moment, I'll show you why a now famous study tracking contestants from a popular weight loss show found that their metabolism stayed permanently broken 6 years after the camera stopped rolling. Why your brain has a built-in set point that fights to undo every kilogram you lose. And why the people who succeed long-term aren't the ones with more willpower. They're the ones who understood something the rest never figured out. By the end of this video, you'll understand more about why weight regain happens than 90% of the trainers and doctors who prescribe weight loss programs every single day. Quick question before we dive in. Have you or someone you love lost a lot of weight and gained it back? Once? Multiple times? Tell me in the comments. You're not weak. You're not broken. You didn't fail. You were fighting forces nobody warned you about. The first force is the one nobody explains. Most people misunderstand what weight loss actually is. Imagine you're rowing a boat upstream against a strong current. You row hard for months. You make incredible progress. You finally reach the shore. And then you let go of the oars. You sit back. You celebrate. But the current never stopped. It's still pulling against you every single moment. The only reason you reached the shore was because you were actively rowing. The moment you stop, the current takes you back. This is the fundamental misunderstanding. People treat weight loss as a destination, a finish line, but your body doesn't see it that way. It sees an ongoing battle against forces that never sleep. The habits that got you to your goal weight are not optional after you reach it. They are the goal. Old habits equal old results. If you go back to the lifestyle you had at the heavier weight, your body will, with mathematical certainty, return to that weight. But here's the psychological twist that makes this even harder. Most people lose weight, but their internal identity never changes. They still see themselves as a heavy person who's currently dieting, not as a lean person who lives this way. And the brain is obsessed with identity. If your self-image says you're someone who used to be heavy, who fought to lose weight, who is on a diet, then the moment the diet ends, the brain quietly drives you back to who you actually think you are. The new body doesn't feel like home. The old patterns do. Long-term weight loss isn't just about food, it's about becoming a different person, on the inside, who naturally lives the lifestyle that produces the body. Without that identity shift, the body change is temporary, always. The second force is the most biological and the most underestimated, the set point in the muscle you didn't know you lost. Inside your hypothalamus, the part of your brain that regulates hunger and metabolism, there is a system that tracks your body weight over years. Researchers call it the set point. It's the weight your brain considers normal for you based on where you've spent most of your life. When you lose a significant amount of weight, your brain doesn't celebrate, it panics. From its perspective, you are starving, so it activates a coordinated survival response designed to bring you back to that set point as fast as possible. It increases ghrelin, the hunger hormone, sometimes to levels higher than before you started. It decreases leptin, the hormone that signals fullness. And it lowers your resting metabolic rate, sometimes by hundreds of calories per day, so that any food you eat is more likely to be stored. A famous study published in the journal Obesity by Dr. Kevin Hall at the NIH tracked contestants from a popular weight loss reality show. 6 years after the show ended, almost all of them had regained the weight. But the most striking finding was this: their metabolisms were still suppressed 6 years later, burning hundreds of calories per day less than people of the same body weight who hadn't gone through rapid weight loss. Rapid weight loss can leave a metabolic scar that lasts for years. And there's a second layer that makes this even worse. When people lose weight quickly, especially without enough protein and without resistance training, a significant portion of that weight loss isn't fat, it's muscle. Muscle is your metabolic engine. When you lose muscle along with fat, your body becomes a less efficient calorie burner. So even if you go back to eating exactly the amount of food you ate before, you now have a body that burns less. The math has been rewritten against you. This is why so many people gain back more weight than they originally lost. They didn't just return to their old habits, they returned with a slower metabolism and less muscle than they started with. So here's what to actually do. First, redefine the goal. Weight loss isn't a finish line. The habits you build during the loss phase are the habits you'll keep for life. Don't pick a strategy you can't sustain forever. Second, work on identity, not just behavior. Stop saying, "I'm trying to lose weight." Start saying, "I'm someone who eats this way." Stop seeing yourself as a person who diets. Start seeing yourself as the lean version of you that already exists. Third, protect your muscle at all costs during the weight loss phase. Eat enough protein, at least 1.6 grams per kilogram of body weight per day, and lift weights or do some form of resistance training at least 2 to 3 times per week. Without these, you're not just losing fat, you're cannibalizing your future metabolism. Fourth, accept that maintenance is the real work. The weight loss phase is dramatic and motivating. Maintenance is invisible, slow, and unrewarded. But maintenance is where most people fail. Build systems and routines that don't depend on motivation, because motivation will fade. You're not fighting your body, you're learning how to work with it every day for the rest of your life. That's the real shift. The people who keep the weight off aren't the ones who tried harder. They're the ones who understood, eventually, that there is no after. There is only the continuation of who you are now. Tell me in the comments, which force do you recognize most in your own story? The process versus state mistake, the set point pulling you back, or the identity that never quite caught up to the new body? If this video gave you something nobody else gave you, subscribe to the channel. Every week, I bring you the intersection of psychology, neuroscience, and nutrition, translated honestly. See you in the next one.